to Katie's parents, Nicky and Stephen, along with Malcolm and Pat, and not forgetting Terry and Lynn for hosting such a wonderful event today.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh no.
No, it's of course a great honour to be chosen as best man. If nothing else, what it did do, it allowed me to sit a little more comfortably at my wedding during Neil's best man speech, knowing full well that it wouldn't be daft enough to say anything that would allow me payback so soon after. And in fairness, it wasn't a bad speech. However, the problem now for Neil is that I now have absolutely nothing to lose. It did say that if I was to mess up today, then there'd be absolutely no way I'd get the opportunity at his next wedding. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Danny, and I've known Neil for the best part of 23 years. When we first met on the football pitch during one of New Balls Over's routine victories over Shuttlewood Primary. Neil and I got to know each other properly when we played football together through school. Neil was often referred to as Balls Over's answer to Paul Gascoigne, due to his midfield creativity, great dribbling, combined with the fact that he liked your beer or two. I, on the other hand, was likened to Darren Anderton, a gangly left winger who was prone to injury. It was Neil's midfield dynamism that helped him secure professional contracts with Nottingham Forest, Leicester and Bristol City. Unfortunately for Neil, his managers were less understanding than Gazza's over his off-the-field antics, and his professional career was relatively short-lived. Terry never lost faith though. And Neil's now prospering as captain of Balls Over Town Social. Neil was lucky enough to meet Gazza, his hero, a few years ago, and as a souvenir shirt to tell as a memento. On a night out in Leeds, Neil met Gazza, and drinking tongues ensued. The match was declared a draw. Gazza, however, asked to swap shirts, and Neil was happy to oblige. Unfortunately, they didn't keep in touch, but to this day they're still referred to in the same breath as dribbling wrecks, straggling the streets in the early hours, prone to wetting their pants. We'll have a bit more on that later. At first, it was a difficult task writing this speech, as many of the stories that I wanted to share also incriminate me as well. However, I soon realised, very soon after Neil delivered his best man speech, that actually there were plenty that didn't. Like this one particular time, we went out in Chesterfield. It was late, and Neil bumped into a female friend who was a little worse for wear. Being the true gent that we know Neil is, he wanted to make sure that she was safe. So he took her home to Terry and Lynn's. He had nothing to hide, but he didn't want his mum to be suspicious, so he decided it's best if he sneaks in and leaves this girl outside his bedroom window. So Neil went in, he climbed out and helped his friend in before climbing back in himself. Simple. If only he hadn't fallen back, scraping himself through the hedge, causing a commotion that woke his mum. Neil got into the room and all was well until Lynn walked in. With the pair stood by the window, Neil with hedge scratches all over his chest. What did you say, Lynn? Has she done that? Lynn shouts, before sorting the situation, putting Neil on the sofa and insisting that Terry has words with his son the following morning.
Put the girl in a taxi.
To be fair, Terry did have a chat. Baffled by the whole event, Terry's words, Neil, why don't you just bring me through the front door? In 2004, Neil, Damo and I were lucky enough to spend 9 amazing months backpacking our way through Asia, Australia and New Zealand. We met some great friends, visited some more inspiring places, but above all it allowed us to learn a little bit about ourselves and each other. For example, I learned that Neil, having not had a fight for his whole life, thought it would be a good idea to start one with a Vietnamese taxi driver. Within minutes, they were everywhere. However, like any true friend, I wasn't far away. About 200 metres to be precise, hiding up a tree. I was genuinely worried for his life. On climbing down about 3 hours later, with Damo and I playing the phone call to Lynn, Neil arrived back completely oblivious by the whole event. He lost his bearings, and spent 2 hours riding around Vietnam on the back of a moped taxi looking for the hotel. In Neil's best man speech, he mentioned that during our travels he got ill. Not malaria, as he suggested, but a slight stomach bug nonetheless. And in hindsight, maybe I could have been a little more caring. What Neil did fail to mention, however, was I too was quite ill in Bali, and I spent a good few days splitting between the bathroom and bed. I didn't expect a deal of sympathy, but what did come as a surprise was to be awoken in the early hours by the sound of the door slamming and the noise of a chicken scurrying around my room. Neil being Neil had kind of collected the chicken on his walk back to the hotel, leaving me trying to catch the thing completely naked. Talking of no clothes, and whilst on the subject of Bali, it was also where we had the pleasure of being introduced to G. G is worth a round of applause. G is a great friend of ours, and we've shared many of each other's special occasions. It was obvious from the start that Neil and G would always have that close friendship. Neil and G invented a little game that they enjoyed in the early hours of every morning on their return from a night out. A skateboard had been left by a fellow traveller, and they would challenge each other to get from one end of the corridor to the other without putting their foot on the ground. Quite a simple game, so I left them with it, and I returned about 10 minutes or so later, and I noticed that there'd been 1 or 2 developments. They were both now completely naked, with one acting as an obstacle in the form of a bridge that the other one had to skateboard under before getting to the side. This ritual was repeated every night. In fact, there never was a winner. In fact, Chief, I see you checking in next door with a skateboard. It'll be a long
That's
night,
why the
Katie.
case is so big.
Since our travels, Neil has worked hard to establish himself as a successful plumber. Quite ironic that he should build up a reputation for managing other people's leaks when he has completely no control over it. As mentioned earlier, Neil has been known on more than one occasion to urinate everywhere other than the toilet. In fact, I don't think there was a hotel in all the countries that we stayed in throughout Southeast Asia that Neil didn't mark his territory. However, it's a story from Australia that I feel is too good not to share. We were staying in a dorm along with 6 Americans who had not even met because they checked in when we were already out. Anyway, during the night, Neil obviously went on his usual sleepwalk to visit the toilet, only he didn't visit the toilet. And having climbed down from his bunk, he wandered over to the corner of the room where a girl had her clothes neatly piled. With the cries of, "Hey man!" failing to wake Neil, he finished off and climbed back into his bunk. Only it wasn't his bunk, it was mine. After falling off and landing heavily on the fellow who was sleeping in the single bed below, Neil was guided back to bed. Thankfully, we weren't hanging around very long the next day. Joking aside, Neil has been a great friend to me, and we've had some brilliant times together. And with the additions of Darcy and Jacob, I know that our families will have plenty more brilliant times together in the future. It's been an honour being your best man today, mate. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who is here sharing Katie and Neil's special day. Before I finish, I have a couple of messages to read out from people who couldn't be here but wanted to pass on their best wishes. Easy bit. To Neil and Katie, wishing you and your gorgeous newly wedded wife, and we hope to meet down under one day, a lifetime of fun and happiness together. And that's from Dylan and Melinda from Sydney.
Oh, I thought that read
Another one. So wedding card, Neil. We're sorry we couldn't make your special day, but felt it too emotional losing a special guy such as yourself. We'll see you again soon. From all the girls at Fantasy Palace. Sorry, I didn't realise that. I wish Neil and Katie all the best now and forever. As you go through life together, always love each other, respect each other, and be there for each other. Never forget to say I'm sorry. I never go to bed angry. Now, I've been married 9 months, and I'm sure all the other married couples here would agree that That's a load of all crap. It's a formality. It's just something to get you started. I think me and Maria lasted about 2 months. 1 month. However, one of those rules will always apply. Never forget to say sorry. Unfortunately, it only applies to the groom. It's something you get used to. In fact, I want to say sorry now to Maria for the sake I'm going to be in the morning. Sorry. Do we always mean it? Of course we do. Seriously, you're both wonderful people. It's easy to see that Katie brings out the very best in Neil, and I'm sure that Katie's family feels the same. I know you two are made for each other. You're wonderful parents, and I wish you all the happiness in the world. So, everybody, please join me in a toast to the bride and groom. Bride and groom. Cheers.